Hello Hijetters, this is a more in-depth video on why your petrol gauge never works on your UK Hijet. As you can see, if I turn ignition on, the needle just stays at 0, doesn't register. Okay. The first thing you need to do is remove your petrol cap, and then secondly, underneath, drain the fuel. It's a 16mm plug, I believe. Next, I want to remove this Jubilee clip. It's an 8mm. Be prepared that it's probably very rusty, it might snap off, so you might need to buy some more Jubilee clips prior to reassembly. Okay, next stage, from underneath, you need to disconnect this cable here and this one here, and then remove this bolt and this bolt. Slacken it only at the moment, and make sure you've got support underneath. I haven't done it yet, but make sure you've got support underneath the tank, because you don't want the tank to drop yet, because there's more cables and pipes in behind that we need to disconnect. If you just let the tank drop, you're going to damage a lot of cables and pipes. Okay, so hopefully you can see I've removed those 2 bolts, and appreciate maybe not everybody's got the tools I have. I've got a trolley jack at the back and a bit of wood, and some axle supports at the front, just to hold the tank for now. That's it too. You can now go ahead and remove that one there, and the same on the other side somewhere. Okay, it's in there somewhere. So that's all it is, just 4 bolts that hold the tank on, and effectively now that tank is just sitting on the axle stand and the block of wood. I would stress these can be very rusted. Take your time removing them, quarter or half turn at a time. Remove very slowly, lots of WD-40, because if they snap off you're going to be in a bit of trouble. Not the end of the world, but you're going to be in a lot more trouble trying to get back in. Okay, Hijetter, so I've still got my original jacked up the back. I've got another jack here to remove the axle stands, because all you want to do is drop it a few inches so you can get access to all these pipes. Yeah, so first of all you need to disconnect this one here. So I'm doing this one-handed, hopefully it zooms in. Let's just squeeze and pull back. And here, disconnect this one. And this is really vitally important, this one. So hopefully you can see. This pipe here is pretty fragile. Try your best not to damage it. In fact, I'd go beyond saying do not damage it, because if you are, that's your petrol tank ruined. You can't really use it again. Well, certainly not the sender unit. You need a new sender unit. So yeah, disconnect this one and pull the hose off. Same with this up here, I think it's that one up there. Disconnect that one. No, actually you don't need to. Sorry, the line, just that one, disconnect that one. And there's another one at the back there. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry, it's not the best pictures here. Disconnect that one and push it off. And again, super careful when you're removing the pipe, rubber pipe, off this metal tube, because they can be rusty. And again, if that breaks, you have to buy a whole new sender unit. Okay, that's the pipes off, but just for your own ease, I would say remove this pipe first, and then that'll give you better access to this one here to remove that, and then remove this one here. Fortunately I've been not too bad, mine aren't too rusty, but like I said, you take the pipes off, be really careful with these because they can rust, and it's the same around this one here. They rust bad there, and if that breaks off, then yes, you will need a new tank. But if these break off, then you just need a new sender unit. Also, just be aware that when you do disconnect the 2 return and feed pipes, a bit of fuel will come out, so just be mindful. Okay, so when you've disconnected these pipes, drop the tank just another couple of inches, and then somehow get your hand in the back there and remove this pipe here, which is attached to this canister. Apologies, I don't know all the names of it, but you do need to remove that one as well. And then I think that is it. You should be able to remove the tank. It should just drop out now and you'll be able to remove it. If not, I will create another wee video. Okay, so yep, no other pipes, and I managed to drop the tank, and that's it out. Albeit I've been filming this on and off and to stop and start. I'd say that's taken me, if I hadn't filmed it, maybe about 45 minutes an hour to do. And again, I appreciate not everybody's got all the tools I do as an air compressor. And obviously again, safety paramount, because there still is fuel in the tank, so you just got to be really careful around any sparks or naked flames. But I'm just going to blow some of this dust off. As a quick one, and yeah, once you got to this stage, this would be a really good opportunity to clean your tank up, paint it with hammerite, and I'll do another video shortly as to why the needle doesn't work in the first place, albeit I do have a video on YouTube about that. Again, I should say, when I was removing that cable, it's come out, so I will repair that because you need that. So this is the fuel gauge sender. This is what tells you how much fuel's in your tank, and this is the fuel pump. Okay, so we're at this stage now. So I've removed there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7mm nuts. See, they're very small. Again, advised to take a wire brush, clean it up as best you can, give it every opportunity you can to get this off without breaking it. So give it lots of WD-40, lots of wire brush, and blow the dust away. Those were 8mm bolts, I think. Both them and that one's shouldn't be much tight. I don't know what is in torque, but really not much past finger tightness, which is a bit stronger than that, so this shouldn't be too much problem to take off. So I'll now show you, hopefully as it happens, why the petrol gauge doesn't work. So you remove that, and hopefully when I remove this, at the very bottom of this black cap, sorry, at the very bottom of this tube, there should be a black cap along with the float, and it's probably come off. So this is the first time, hopefully I've got it right, and there we go, exactly, it's fallen off. And that cap and that float will be in there somewhere. I don't know if I can see it just now. Normally it's wedged in between that swirl tank. You might get lucky and you might be able to shake it out. However, like I said, if it's wedged in, you don't have a chance. And that's why you have to then remove this one carefully, like so. And obviously there's still fuel in it, so again, be super cautious. Put that to the side, and then hopefully put your hands in a diet. If not, stick your hands in there and you will find the black cap and a little yellow float that sits inside that. And I'll hopefully put the link in and you can see my other video about that. And that's it. Once you put the float back in, put the cap back on. Now, ideally, you should just buy a whole new sender unit from Mondo Porter, but they are quite expensive. So if you go down the route of putting it back together, when you put the cap on, recommendations are you get a soldering iron and you melt the cap back into the edge of this, because if it's fallen off once, it's going to fall off again, and you don't want to be doing this again. So yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you just put it all back the same way as you took off. Thank you. And actually, in closer inspection, look, there's the float sitting there, and I don't know if you can see it. It's probably badly focused. There's the cap just in there, but it's probably not going to focus. That's the black cap. And so yep, final video then, and like I said, there's the float. You pop it back in like that. Put the cap back on even, like so. And then that's what I was talking about. Once you get the cap on, take a soldering iron and melt it back onto the tube, because it will just come off again. But I can't stress again, what you should do is just buy a brand new one and replace it.